Welcome back with a new math tutorial. In this video we are talking about area of composite figures. How can we find the area of the figure number 1? If you look at figure number 1, we can divide it into a triangle and rectangle. Once we can divide them, we can find the area of the first shape, find the area of the second one, then add them. So to find the area, I will draw the two figures outside. To find the area of the triangle, we need to find the length of the base and the length of the height. The length of the height now will be equals to 4. To find the length of the base, at the first we have here, the length of a line segment of the rectangle will be equals to 10. So the opposite also will be equals 10. All of this line segment equals to 10. The small part will be equal 6. So the remainder now will be 10 minus 6, which equals 4. So the length of the base of the rectangle will be equals 4. Now we need to find the dimension of rectangle. The rectangle has length equals to 10 and the width equals to 6. To find the area of the figure number 1, which is the triangle, equals half multiplied by the length of the base, which is 4 times 4. The answer now will be equal to 8 squared inch. To find the area of the rectangle will be equal length multiplied by width, which is 10 multiplied by 6. By multiplying, you will find that the answer will be equal to 60 squared inch. In question number 2, we need to find the area of the figure. As we solve in question number 1, we can divide it into two shapes. Number 1, we have a triangle. Number 2, we have a rectangle. So to solve it, we need to grab the two figures outside. To find the area of the triangle, we need to find the length of the base and the length of the height. This line segment equal to 4, so the opposite will be equals 4. The length of all of the side equals to 10. So 10 minus 4 will be equal to 6. So the height now will be equal to 6. The length of this side equals to 12. So the opposite also will be equals to 12. Once we have here the small line segment equals to 8, so the remainder will be 12 minus 8 will be equals to 4, because 4 and 8 will be equals to 12. So the base of the triangle will be equals 4. Now we need to find the length and the width for the rectangle. The length of the rectangle will be equals to 12, and the width will be equals 4. To find the area of the number 1, which is a triangle, equals to half multiplied by the length of the base multiplied by the height, which equals to 12 squared unit. To find the area of number 2, which is rectangle, will be equal length multiplied by width, which equals to 48 squared unit. Now we need to find the area. To find the area, just we add them. So it will be 12 plus 48. The answer will be equals to 60 squared feet. In question number 3, we need to find the area of the figure. If you look at the figure, we can divide it into two shapes. Number 1, we have a trapezoid. Number 2, we have a square. So we can grab the two figures outside. To find the area of the trapezoid, we need to find the length of the two parallel bases. The first base equals to 5, and the second is opposite to 7, so it will be also equal to 7. The side length of the square equal to 7, so the opposite will be equal to 7. Once we have here the length of all of this line segment equals to 10, and the small part equal to 7, so the remainder will be 3, because 3 plus 7 equals to 10. So the height of the trapezoid will be equal to 3, and that will be the dimension of the figure number 1. The figure number 2 will be a square. We will find that each side of the square will be equal to 7. Now we can find the area of number 1, which is the trapezoid. So it will be half multiplied by the height, which equal to 3, times base 1 plus base 2. By multiplying, you will find that the answer will be equals to 18 squared unit. Now we need to find the area of number 2. You will find that number 2 will be a square. The area of the square is a side multiplied by itself. So 7 times 7 will be equals to 49 squared unit. To find the area, all what we have to do, just we need to add. So 18 plus 49, the answer will be equal to 67 squared unit. In this part of the lesson, how can we find if we have overlapping part? To find if we have overlapping part, at the first I will find the area of the first figure. Number 2, I will find the area of the second figure. Number 3, I will find the area of the common part. To find the area now will be equals to 1 plus 2 minus the area of the common part or the overlapping part. So we need to find the dimension. Number 1 will be a square. To find the dimension of the square will be equals to 12 by 12. We will start with the area number 1. Number 1 is a square, which equals to 12 multiplied by 12, which equals to 144 squared units. Number 2 is a rectangle, because we have here the dimension would be 12 and 15. So we find the area of number 2, which equal length multiplied by width. So the answer now will be equals to 180 squared centimeter. After that, I will find the area of the overlapping part. We need to find the dimension. The length of this side equals to 12. So the opposite also will be equals to 12. Now we have the small part equal to 6. So 12 minus 6 will be equal to 6. That's the first dimension. Now the length of the side of the rectangle equals to 15. So the opposite also will be equal to 15. Once we have 8, so 15 minus 8 will be equal to 7. Again, one more time. We have the length of this line segment equals to 12, because it's opposite to 12. We have a small part equal to 6, so the remainder now will be equal to 6. The second one. We have the length of this part equals to 15. So the opposite also will be equals to 15. Once we have here 8, so 15 minus 8 will be equal to 7. So we have a rectangle. The area of the rectangle will be equal to length multiplied by width, which equals to 42 squared units. Now we need to find the area. To find the area will be equals to area 1 plus area 2 minus the overlapping part, which equals 144 plus 180 minus 42. By solving the operation, you will find that the answer will be equal to 182 squared centimeter. In question number 14, we need to find the area of the figure. You will find that we have overlapping part. So number 1, I will find the area of the shape number 1. Number 2, then find the area of overlapping. Find A1. To find the area of the figure will be A1 plus A2 minus A3. Now we need to find A1. A1 represents a rectangle because we have 6 by 7. So it will be 7 multiplied by 6, which equals 42 squared units. Now area of number 2. Area of number 2 also represents a rectangle because we have a dimension 8 by 6. So it will be 8 multiplied by 6. The answer will be equals 48 square feet. To find the area of number 3, we need to write the dimensions. At the first, we have the length of this line segment equal to 6. So the opposite also will be equal 6. Once we have here this part equals 1, so the remainder will be equals 5. Because 6 minus 1 will be equals 5. Now we need to find the length of the other dimension. The length of this side equal to 7. So the opposite also will be equal 7. Once we have here 2, so the remainder will be equals 5. Because 2 plus 5 equal to 7. Now we need to find the area of the figure number 3. Number 3 will be a square because we have 2 equal sides. So it will be 5 multiplied by 5. The answer will be equal to 25 squared units. So now we need to find the area of the figure. To find the area of the figure will be area of number 1 plus 2 minus 3. So it will be 42 plus 48 minus 25. By solving the operation, the answer will be equal to 65 squared units. In question 15, we need to find the area of the figure. We have overlapping part. So we need to find area of number 1, area of number 2, then subtract area of number 3. Area of number 1 represents a rectangle because we have 28 by 30. So area number 1 will be equal to 30 multiplied by 28. By solving, it will be equal to 840 feet square. Now we need to find area 2. The area 2 is also a rectangle because we have here the dimension 42 and 33. 42 multiplied by 33. By multiplying, you will find that the answer would be 1386 square feet. To find the area of number 3, we need to write the dimensions. At the first, we have the length of this part equal to 30. So the opposite also will be equal to 30. Once we have 16, so 30 minus 16 will be equals 14. Now we need to find the length of the other dimension. That's 28. So the opposite also will be 28. Once we have 14, so 28 minus 14 will be equals 14. So we have a square. It will be equals 14 multiplied by 14. The answer will be equals to 196 square feet. So to find the area of the figure will be equals area number 1 plus area number 2 minus the common part. By solving the operation, you will find that the answer will be equals to 2030. And that's how can we find the area of the composite figure.